Good morning and welcome to another pajama yoga practice. This morning I'm finding myself with a rather limited, tight, and cranky hamstring. So this practice will offer you some hamstring help. So go ahead and allow yourself to come down to your mat. And if you have a bolster, I truly invite you to bring it onto the mat in support of your practice. Now, a bolster can very easily be replaced by a pillow or a rolled up blanket. And as you see here, I've gently invited that bolster beneath the backs of my legs just to soften my hamstrings down over it. Let yourself lie down comfortably, the hands resting on the belly, or maybe even just on the floor beside you. Go ahead and allow yourself this time and opportunity to close the eyes and to just remain in that quiet space post-wake up. Go ahead and allow your breath to just simply fall in. And then to gently fall back out again. Now feel free to remain here for as long as it feels good for you. And then when you're ready, start to initiate some simple movements by wiggling your fingers and your toes. You might even invite the arms to extend and reach over your head, those legs to stretch, the toes to point as you reach from fingertips to toe tips. Slowly return the arms back down beside you as you adjust, now bending the knees, placing the feet on the floor. And then as you're ready, take your left knee in towards the chest, wrapping the hands around the shin. Give yourself the freedom to point and flex that left foot, just initiating that, movement that we make with every step that we take. Feel free to sync the movement to your breath, inhaling to flex, and then maybe exhaling to point. But if that feels too confusing, then just let yourself move in whatever way feels good for you. Eventually let your foot find a happy landing place as you change to hold now the back of your left hamstring as the left leg straightens to the ceiling. Again, option here to move that foot in a couple of circles, just waking up the movement of the foot. And of course, this changes the sensations in the leg too. You slowly release the hands from the back of that hamstring. As you can see, I'm shifting that prop out from beneath my leg. And then inhale with the left leg extending to the ceiling. Exhaling, lower the leg down, hovered off the mat. Again, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, lower the left leg down, hovering over the mat. A few more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, lower that left leg down. And then this time, inhale, lift the leg up. Again, bend that knee. Wrap the hands around the hamstring, pausing for a moment. Just giving that left side leg a little bit more space and time to open. This for me is the side that's just a little bit cranky today. Now you can stay here in this simple hamstring stretch, or you might find bending that left knee down onto that left side body and coming into what we call half happy baby pose, where the left hand holds the ankle, the left hand holds the toes, or the left and right hand holds the foot. This will further help to just open the glute as well as the hamstring. And then also invite some release across the low back. Now, if this posture feels like too much, then by all means, just omit it and continue to keep that left leg extending towards the ceiling and the hands gently supporting that length. And then as you're ready, slowly release, letting that left ankle now find its place on top of the right thigh in a posture often referred to as thread the needle pose. Sometimes we call this reclined pigeon too. And as you see here, I've decided to pull that bolster back into place and let my right foot land on it just to further support the opening of the left hip. And that might not be something that feels good in your body. So if that again feels like too much, simply keep the sole of the right foot on the floor and cross that left ankle on top of the right thigh, just in a simple variation. So let yourself linger here in this figure 4 posture, taking a couple of breaths, letting the breath fall out. And then slowly from here, start to release that left leg, uncross it, reach it towards the ceiling, and then gently let the left leg land, finding that bolster, that pillow, that prop, or just landing down on the mat and letting the right leg follow suit. Letting the hands rest on the belly, or again, maybe on the floor beside you as you let the breath fall in. And then let the breath fall out. And then from here, let's go ahead now and draw the right thigh into the body. As the right leg comes in, again, the option is here to point or flex through the right foot, just waking up the ankle and, of course, all of those muscles that literally will help you move one step at a time throughout your day. Feel free to sync it to the breath, maybe pointing the foot on the exhale, flexing the foot on the inhale, letting it happen organically and in a way that serves you. That's really the kind of gem of your yoga practice. And then as you're ready with that flexed foot, slowly begin to change the hands to the hamstring and invite that left leg to unfold as it opens towards the ceiling. Do your best to keep your head, neck, shoulders nice and easeful on your mat. Your arms are certainly working to support your leg, but we don't want the arms and shoulders and the neck to feel forced into any position. A strap could always be of benefit here if need be. And then if that bolster or blanket is still on your mat, go ahead and move it to the side as we practice these leg raises. Inhale to let the leg lift to the sky. Exhale, lower it down, hovering it over the floor. Again, inhale, let the breath help support the movement of the leg. That's what really makes this a meditation in motion and a yoga practice. Again, inhale, lift the leg. Exhale to lower. Again, inhale, lift the leg. And exhale, let the leg fall down. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Soften at the knee as you need to, and then use the hands to support again, opening through that right side hamstring, or moving right into that half happy baby pose as the right knee moves into the right side of the body and one or both hands finds the right ankle, the right foot, or feel free to invite a strap around the sole of the right foot, especially if the foot feels really far away today. Mind again that the neck, the shoulders, and the arms aren't overreaching or straining to grasp the foot. Okay, we're working to support ourselves, to get to know the body, and then apply practices that help it to move with ease. Let yourself continue to pause a couple more breaths here. Noting the release through the hamstring, through the glute, and any sensations that travel along the spine or even into the other leg. And then slowly let that right leg now find its landing place on the left thigh. So the right ankle lands on top of the left thigh, somewhere around the knee. And then again, if you wish, you can just enhance this pose slightly by returning the bolster, the pillow, which might also be a block, underneath the sole of the left foot. And that's an option. If you don't have that or it just feels too cumbersome, then just leave the prop to the side. Ease that right thigh into a gentle external rotation, mindful not to push or tweak the knee in any way as we're targeting across the ball and socket joint of the hip, not the knee itself. And then with your exhale, slowly uncross the leg and return that right leg down to rest. And let the left leg follow suit, and then simply land. Take a nice full deep breath in here. Maybe stretch that body again, arms over your head, legs extending, pointing the toes. And eventually return those knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, moving your prop out of the way. Slowly shift from your back over to your preferred side. And then gently move from your side up to a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees just slightly behind your hips for a slow moving cat and cow. Let your inhale slowly move you into cow pose, belly down, collarbones broad, face lifts. As you exhale, round the back. Feel free to flatten the feet too. Stay here, take a breath in cat. And then as you exhale, move back through cow pose, maybe tucking the toes if you wish. Take a breath in here in cow pose. Exhale, move to cat, rounding the back, flattening the feet, pressing the floor away gently. Breathe in here in cat pose. And exhale, release. And from tabletop position, we're going to move now gently into pigeon posture. Now, you can come back onto your back and do the reclined posture that we've already done. Or, as you can see, props can come into play here as the right leg shifts forward. I'm using my bolster underneath the chest, and then a pillow, or again, the folded blanket underneath that right side seat. First thing in the morning, I always love to incorporate the use of props. The body is oftentimes a little stiffer, a little more tight or rigid after a night's slumber and minimal movement. And so bringing props into your early morning practice can be just so welcoming and deeply nourishing. As we hold this posture for a little longer, be mindful of the sensations if and when they creep up. If things become too intense, then it's really your responsibility to pay attention to that intensity and adjust as necessary so that the posture is beneficial and doesn't further complicate or affect your body's ability to move with ease. Slowly, as you're ready, start to now lift the body and torso away from the prop. Ease yourself back through to tabletop position. Shift and move here, swaying the hips side to side, or join me in a cat and cow movement. Exhaling round into cat. Again, inhaling through to your tabletop position. And then shifting your props, find yourself moving into pigeon pose on the other side. Adjust so that the blanket helps to support the left side seat. And then that bolster finds its way underneath the chest, the torso, as you gently lay yourself down here. As you come to land in your pigeon pose, again, mindful of the sensations if and when they surface. If there's any sensation in that front knee, especially if it doesn't feel good, pinching, tweaking, or even causing your breath to shorten or stop, then that's really an indicator for you to adjust. We certainly don't want postures to hurt the body. We want postures to free the body, to let energy flow so that movement can take place and we can feel healthy in this form that we journey through life. Continue to let your breath just softly flow here as we linger for a few more breaths, pausing to hold this posture and support the release potential. Take one more breath here. And then slowly, as you're ready, start to shift and lift yourself up away off your props, moving back through to that tabletop position where one more time, invite the cow pose on the in-breath. Exhale, round it through into cat. And slowly making your way back through to your tabletop position, ease yourself from there to your seat. And as you come to your seat, let's find ourselves in butterfly. Give yourself a nice comfortable distance between the heels and the groin. Place the hands maybe on the shins, the ankle. Let yourself sit tall. If it feels nice to just simply stay here sitting tall, do so, or let your exhalation slowly invite you into your forward fold. And as you ease forward, just go gently. An early morning practice is much different than something you'd experience towards the end of the day after moving all day long. I know in my body, the range of motion is far less in an early morning practice compared to a practice, say, later in the afternoon. Again, our practice isn't about forcing or pushing the body. It's about meeting ourselves where we are. So meet yourself where you are, with the resistance, with the stiffness, the stuckness, the sleepiness, or whatever else is showing up on the mat with you today. And with your next inhalation, slowly let yourself rise and bring those legs gently together, extending them straight out in front of you. And again, with my hamstring that's not so happy today, I'm opting to place the bolster behind the knees for a more gentler stretch through the backside of both legs. You're welcome to adjust with a prop of a strap around the sole of the feet, as I've done here, to gently let myself fold forward over the legs, keeping the feet active. Active meaning we flex the toes to the ceiling and the soles of the feet move away from your own seat. This flexed position will help to target and release those hamstrings differently from when the feet and toes are pointed. And then just let yourself breathe. If you find this too congesting, you're welcome to take the legs a little wider versus keeping the legs together as I'm practicing here this morning. And then with your next inhalation, slowly let yourself lift and rise. Shift the strap off to the side, shift the bolster off to the side, and then as you're ready, find a comfortable place to sit. Now you're welcome to come back down onto your back and rest in final relaxation pose. But this morning I decided to end my practice with a seated meditation. So landing here with the spine tall, the hands on the legs on the lap, let yourself just simply breathe. If you feel the need to adjust the shoulders, the head, the neck, or of course anything else in the body, then do so. And of course, come to your back and rest in what we call corpse pose, savasana, if that feels better for you too. Give yourself permission to stay here. Stay here for as long as you need. Let your mind land on the breath, and the soft ebb and flow of the breath be a focal point for your mind to watch and witness. Stay here for as long as you need. And then when you're ready, offer yourself the gentleness of a bow, bowing the head to the hands, the head to the heart, acknowledging yourself for showing up and getting on your mat today. Namaste.